Right, I've decided that you are going to do the show today.
Why?
Don't steal my catchphrase, because you're a puppet and I'm the human.
Whatever 2 + 2 = potato man.
Yeah, well, you've got a head like a potato.
What?
You heard me. Anyway, the only reason I wanted the puppet version of me to host this week's episode of Ups and Downs with Smackdown is because who came out to start the show was Kevin Owens, because he had decided that he was going to do commentary for the evening because Corey Graves was away because him and Carmella have had a baby. So all the congratulations to them. Also, KO was just wearing a tie over his usual attire. This is why when he does retire, he absolutely should have a seat at that desk. Also, hello my friends, thank you for joining me as always. It is I, Simon Miller, the master of 2 + 2 = potato, which means nothing makes any sense. So make sure you put your bottom into a seat and let's up those downs for what was a very good episode of WWE Smackdown. Because, yep, one of the first things we did here was pull the trigger. Alright. Because the LWO came to the ring with Rey Mysterio, and Rey was all like, well, let me just tell you something right away. Do you know who a thief is? Logan Paul. I was like, hope that Twitter or X doesn't hear him say that. They're definitely going to agree with him. Of course, Rey was talking about the fact that Logan Paul did have to use the brass knucks to hit him at Crown Jewel, which allowed him to win his belts. Yeah, you can't argue with him. He was telling the 100% truth. Mysterio also promised us that he was going to do whatever he had to in order to get a rematch with Logan. Well, out came Carlito. I was like, wait a minute, isn't he meant to be a part of this group? I guess he just wanted his own music. He was totally mad as well because he pointed straight at Santos Escobar and he was like, listen, Rey, you shouldn't be worrying about anybody else. You should be worrying about this goober, because did you see where he put the brass knucks? I smell something is cooking. And it's true, Escobar left them right in the ring. It also caused a massive row between Mr. Cool and Santos, and Escobar got so pissed off, he just walked away. Oh man, what a baby. I suppose Bobby Lashley was watching all of this as well, because he then came to the ring, and he was having a match with Carlito. Why not? The Apple Man was able to hit Bobby Lashley with a drop kick when he came back with this massive clothesline, and we did see B-Fab watching this from the back. So I suppose that ties into last week. It does feel like she's going to join Bob's group, although we then cut back to her later, and Ashante the Adonis turned up, and they walked off together. So maybe Hit Row is dead, and we're all going to say, please Lashley, put me in. Bobby then decided he was going to go for the Hurt Lock, but Carlito did not want to be locked in a world of hurt, so he was able to come back with the ultimate comeback move of 2023, the crossbody. Although when he went for a clothesline of his own, Bobby Lashley basically no-sold it. So remember kids, if you do want to be a WWE superstar when you do grow up, make sure you're super duper jacked. Carlito couldn't even hurl Lashley into Sympathy Still Steps because he reversed that and Carlito went into them as well. This is where I really laughed because Montez Ford decided to cast interference and he grabbed Carlito's leg. I was like, Montez, I don't think you really need to do this. Your boss is absolutely whipping his ass. The LWO did see this though, so all of a sudden the Street Profits and them were having a massive brawl, and that too served as some kind of a distraction. Referee didn't know what was going on, so Bob hit the spear, 1, 2, 3. Thanks for coming, Carl, but you're done. He, of course, got murdered afterwards, because that's what bad guys do in WWE. And by this point, Santos Escobar had come back to try and help out, but when this was going down, he just stared at Carlito and let it happen. Dun, dun, dun. This is when Rey Mysterio's music hit. I was like, wait a minute, you were just out here. Why did you go to the back? And after he chased everyone away with a steel chair, he turned to Santos and he was like, what are you doing, you absolute moron? We're meant to be La Familia. And he actually gave him a push. Whoops. All of a sudden it felt like Escobar was going to leave again when he turned around and he thumped Rey right in the face. And I was like, there it is. Now this heel turn has been coming for a while, and I'm glad that WWE finally did it. Although it was a little bit strange that Mysterio pushed him first, because initially you were like, well yeah, Rey, you deserve that. You put your hands on him. Santos then made sure he threw Mysterio into Rita the ring post, so he was absolutely murked. When out came Zelina Vega. I was like, Zelina, you're so late. Rey is already a dead man. Although she actually played her role very well, she was devastated. Kathy Kelly also interviewed Santos Escobar afterwards as he left the building, and he was all like, Rey had it coming. So I enjoy all of this, and actually when Escobar does cut his big promo, I think he can say some things that will actually ring true, but will still think he's a massive dick. Kevin Owens sold this really well too, because he was all like, look, I've turned on a lot of people in my life, but I would never turn on Rey Mysterio, which added gravitas to the fact, so I'm gonna give it an up. Let's make sure we push Santos to the moon. Otherwise, what was the point? When it was time for Damage CTRL, And man, we got some more sports entertainment. We saw what happened at Crown Jewel with Kairi Sane coming to the aid of Io Sky. When Bayley walked out, she was like, I just want to say, really like Damage CTRL. They're my girls. Maybe I don't really know what's going on right now. Still though, everything she has predicted has come true so far, so maybe people need to believe in her more. When she said to Io Sky, would you please come to the ring so we can have a conversation? And Sky did come out, as well as with Dakota Kai, and do you know who was in the middle? It was Kairi Sane, and Bells looked like she'd seen a ghost. Sky wouldn't let her say anything, because she was like, look, didn't you want me to still be the women's champion? Well, I went out and made plans of my own, and look, here is Exhibit A, it is Kairi Sane. And damn it, she helped. I guess Bayley was ready for this a little bit, because she was like, oh yeah, Kairi, do you remember what happened back in 2020? And we actually saw that footage when Bayley wrecked this woman and threw her into that great thingamajig. And it was the reason within storyline that we never saw Kairi Sane again. Sane then spoke and actually said that she respects Bayley and that she forgives her. In that moment, I was like, Bayley, you're totally screwed. You're so going to get replaced. If I were you, I'd run away. But I didn't believe that at all. It's like me telling you, oh, I forgive you, Mother Nature, for taking away my hair. Mother Nature can kiss my ass. I'm going to feud with her forever. We then did get the big old hug, but once again, Bale sold this like, well, I don't really want to do this, but I don't know what else I can do. When Bianca Belair walked out and she was like, man, what a stupid sight. By the way, I don't forgive you for what you did at the pay-per-view. Premium live event. She also said that she found somebody else who didn't like Damage CTRL. So here was Charlotte Flair, who continues her bizarre run. I mean, last week she was teaming with Shotzi. So every week it's just a flip of a coin. You never know what she's going to do. There was a final surprise as well because somebody else has the hate, and it was Asuka. And this was essentially to build a 6-woman tag later, but there is a twist in the tale. So while this was kind of nothing, apart from planting those seeds, when you got the payoff, well, I thought it was so good that retroactively I'm coming back to my script, and I'm giving it up. You will see. They've got a quick video for Dragon Lee because he was about to have another match, and he was taking on Cedric Alexander again. I was like, well, who the hell booked that? Last time the Dragon murked him. So I suppose it's just a way to give Dragon Lee another win, but once again, these two dudes have such good chemistry. I mean, they were killing each other. Cedric also got a tornado DDT at one point, and he followed it up with a chop. And I was like, no, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. That's like reverse escalation. You got to do it the other way around. By that point, Dragon needed something, so he hit this amazing sit-out powerbomb for a 1-2. When Alexander grabbed him and just hurled him across the ring into Tina the Turnbuckle. And I was like, well, look, if Dragon Lee doesn't get up, I totally understand. He also hit this awesome German suplex for Gates and followed it up with a Spanish fly. By this point, I'd realized that they'd gone through the wrestling book and gone, that's right, we've done every single move there is. Lee then took off his knee pad because he was going for the big old knee strike, but Cedric Alexander that turned that into a Michinoka driver for the 1-2. Of course, Lee did kicked out, and I was like, I'm sorry, Ced, you're definitely gonna lose. That happened too, because he went for the lumbar check, but Dragon Lee was able to reverse it into his finish, and he got the 1-2-3. Now look, we can never do this match again, because it wouldn't make any sense. 2 + 2 = potato, but they really do know how to cook. This Dragon Lee man, he's gonna fly, and for the love of everything, let's get Cedric Alexander back involved in something he can go up. We then learned that Rey Mysterio has gone to a local medical facility, so he is totally boned, when we got a massive reaction, because here came LA Knight. Now, of course, he had to talk about his loss to Roman Reigns, and that maybe he didn't live up to expectations, but also, he would be the winner right now, if it wasn't for those damn meddling kids, or Jimmy Uso. Knight refuses to go to the back of the line too, because he still wants to take it out on the bloodline, which is quite an interesting line, ironically, when he also said that one day, he will be the WWE champion. Now, I don't think the powers that be would let him just say that. Put it in your brain. Someone who didn't agree with any of this was Grayson Waller, so he interrupted. I got so damn excited. I was like, they're going to have a lot of fun on that microphone. They did. Because Waller was all like, Knight, you are embarrassing yourself, because once again, you're just blaming everybody else, because maybe, just maybe, you went on the Tribal Chiefs level, and now you've got to accept it. LA responded by calling him a kangaroo jackass, which actually sounds terrible when I say it, but somehow LA Knight makes it work. Well, it was also like, you've got a schoolboy haircut, which is kind of ironic, because I bet you're not allowed anywhere near schools, you creep. I was like, we're making, like, what, paedophile jokes. I mean, don't get mad at me. That's what this was. Maybe a little bit oogly boogly. They just kept going at it as well until LA Knight smacked him with the microphone when we were getting this match. Which is even more interesting, because who was on commentary? It was Kevin Owens, and he hates Grayson Waller. This was actually pretty good too, because of course Knight needed some sort of win after he lost at Crown Jewel, but it also just underlined what WWE thinks of Grayson Waller, because he was in this right till the end. And that's how we should be treating him. He's really good. He did have his brains smashed into Al in the announce table over and over again. I was like, well, that can't be good for your skull at all. When he was able to reverse this, and he threw Knight into Simba the Steel Steps. And I was just worried about all our ringside friends. He soon went for that cutter, but Knight was able to turn that into a back suplex when he also hit the side Russian leg sweep. And I was like, yes, yes, do it. 80s moves forever. All Waller had left in his pocket, though, was to go for a flying nothing, and that was never going to work, so LA grabbed him, gave him the slam, and he followed it up with the blunt force trauma, and yeah, he won. Just like that. Kevin Owens then decided to basically laugh at him and Austin Theory and replay clips of him punching them in the face when the two came up to KO, and their big plan was to take a bottle of water and pour it over Owens' head. I was like, chaps, I don't think this is going to go very well for you. It didn't. Because even though Nick Aldis had told Kevin Owens, you're not allowed to get involved, otherwise I'll suspend you, he absolutely ruined these two. Look, I cannot tell a lie. For some reason, we are going to get to this feud, and I think it's great, mostly because they all make me laugh on the mic. That's all I need, to be entertained, to enjoy myself, so I shall give it an up. This also means that KO may be away for a while. What are we up to? Jimmy Uso then responded to LA Knight and said they can have a match next week. I'm pretty sure they've had about 82,000 matches at this point. As we also learned that in 7 days' time, Solo Sikoa returns to SmackDown. Like, how could he return? He's only missed one episode. He still feels part of it to me. Which is when we got our second big shop of the evening, as we did get to our main event. So as you can see, this was a very succinct SmackDown. It's like watching the Flubbing Attitude Era. Because it was Asuka, Charlotte and Bianca taking on Damage CTRL, and the very first thing we had was Bianca Belair and Bayley going at it, and Bianca just absolutely whooped her with moonsaults and who knows what else, and she needed that revenge. Flair then got involved. She booted Sane right in the face like she wasn't happy that she had returned, when she turned to Io Sky and she mugged her off as well. As always, don't mess with the Queen. Kairi Sane and Belair were then going at it, and I was like, yep, we're going to need that singles match soon. But as soon as Belair was going to give her a massive suplex, all of a sudden, Damage CTRL would just go in distraction, distraction, distraction. Once again, the referee didn't know what the hell was going on. It was around this time too when you were like, well, wait a minute, Asuka hasn't done much in this match, and even when Kairi Sane would go to stop Bianca Belair's tags, she would stop Charlotte instead. So just as Bianca was about to do the hot slap to Asuka, she went no, she refused. The fans were like, well, what the flub is going on here? When Asuka went, and she misted Bianca right in the face, and she hugged Kairi Sane. This is what I was doing. The Kabuki Warriors are back. Charlotte tried to get involved as well, but not even she could beat up 5 people. But clearly, nobody gave this memo to Shotzi, because she just ran out, and surprise, surprise, she got in the ring, and she was killed too. I was like, Shots, who gave you that plan? You also moonsaulted Charlotte Flair as Kylie hit the insane elbow, meaning SmackDown went off air with a brand new Damage CTRL, and one that features Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. I'm sorry, that is flubbing brilliant. And of course, they are going to turn on Bayley, they are going to kick her out. This is another one. We have to get behind them and just push them all the way to the damn sun. This could be really, really good. Look at me. Got me damn excited. That's how a show should leave you feeling. Give it an up. It also probably means that Bayley is going to go back babyface soon, and I actually think that's long overdue now I do consider it. So yeah, if you have like an hour and 40 today, because you can skip the adverts now, you should check this show out. Up. Now please do leave me a comment below, and if you have already watched it, let me know what you thought of it. What were your highlights and lowlights, or ups and downs? Let's just say it. Click the video on the screen right now for ups and downs for Dynamite. Support the show, I appreciate it. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, WhatCulture.com, follow us on social media, and just enjoy your weekend. I mean, there is no pay-per-view over Saturday or Sunday, which kind of scares me now, because my word, just resting like a pay-per-view. It will be back though. See you soon.